So today I'm going to talk about 9 limiting beliefs that wholesalers use to completely sabotage themselves and what to do instead. So I am really pumped for today's episode, but before we jump in, if you have not been over to nextlevelwholesaling.com and taken the Next Level Wholesaling Assessment, you got to go over there and take it. This is something that my mentor created for me when I wanted to get off the treadmill. I wanted to do big, fat, juicy deals, and really have a business that operated without my personal day-to-day involvement. And so I've been taking the Next Level Wholesaling Assessment every quarter for a very, very long time. I have modified it for you. It takes 5 minutes, completely confidential. It's actually offline, not online, so you just download it. No one's going to know. But once you take this thing, you're going to be amazed at the gaps in your business, and it's going to be obvious that very next step you need to take your business to the next level. So go to nextlevelwholesaling.com. All right, so let's jump over to these limiting beliefs. And I could relate to all of these because I, at one point, have experienced all of these and working with the most successful wholesalers in the country. I've seen them not only deal with these, but also break through to create businesses that are more profitable than their wildest dreams. So number one is that wholesaling is a gateway drug, in that I have to start in wholesaling. And when I start in wholesaling, once I can make a few bucks and learn the ropes wholesaling, and then I'll move on to buying apartment buildings or mobile home parks, or then I'll become a rehabber. And I got to tell you, I've been involved in all of those businesses, and there's nothing wrong with those businesses. But wholesaling, real estate wholesaling, can be all you need, okay? It can be extremely profitable. You can have $1 million business with 3 employees and run that thing with a 50 to 60% profit margin. And I'm talking $500,000-$600,000 a year, easy, net in your pocket, and even over $1 million a year. Okay. And I know people who are making way more than that, but some of you want to make $250 a year net. Some of you want to make 300, 400, 500K net. And I can tell you that you can do that with wholesaling alone. You got to love this business. You have to invest in it. You got to understand, I am going to become a master of my craft and lock up big, fat, juicy deals better than anybody else. Because if you do this, you have the advantage. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this later in the episode. But if you know how to negotiate deals, that is the most highly valued skill in real estate. And when you become a wholesaler and you listen to this podcast and you invest in the No Limit Selling System, go to nolimitsalessystem.com, you're going to offer the most value, and that's when you get paid the most. Now, if you don't want to be a wholesaler and you want to invest in apartment buildings or you want to buy mobile home parks, hey, great, go and do those things right now, right? You don't have to wholesale real estate. But I got to tell you, I've been doing this for a long time, and I love, love, love this business. And hey, hopefully I would too. So keep your eye on the prize. Next thing, self-limiting belief, is that you can't or shouldn't earn more than $10,000 a deal. I don't know what it is, but the $10,000 deal is an epidemic in the real estate wholesaling world. And sometimes I'll talk a little bit about this, but this is the 10K cap that people get used to. And I want to let you know that it is okay to make 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. It's okay to make $500,000 on a deal. Okay, you don't own it. There's no law that says that you have to actually buy a deal to make a certain amount of money. The money is in the marketing, and the negotiation. Okay, know your value. This is a good one. Number 3 is that you can't delegate, or that nobody's going to do it as good as you. Well, if you're listening to this episode and hopefully you see yourself as a deal doer, a negotiator, and you love to meet with sellers or talk to sellers and do big, fat, juicy deals, or at the very least teach people on your team how to do that. And I got to tell you, I see way too many people get stuck in the admin part of this business, right? Scheduling the marketing, ordering the marketing, looking at proofs for their mailers, going into PPC campaigns and managing that, dealing with an invoice, paying a notary, calling the locksmith, calling the landscape guy. I mean, calling the title company for a copy of the closing statement, cashing a check. Oh my gosh, bookkeeping, kill me, right? There's a million things that can be done in your business. Every time you do an administrative portion or a task in your business, you basically become an administrative assistant. Okay, there's nothing wrong with being an administrative assistant. The only problem is that they don't get as paid as much as a real estate wholesaler. Negotiating deals is a much higher paid activity than doing admin work. Okay, now they are both necessary. They are both important. But you should spend your time on the activity that's going to make you $1,000 an hour versus the one that's going to cost you anywhere between $5 to $25 an hour. And so I'm going to give you a couple of things. Number one, if you are a closer or if you love to do deals, you probably suck at admin, okay? So someone is going to do it better than you. Number two is that it's sucking away time from your $1,000 an hour activity. So why would you do that, right? Brutal, okay? Absolutely brutal. Three, okay, and this is a good one. And a lot of people think, okay, I can't afford somebody to help, or, I'm too embarrassed because my business is a crap show. And I get it. I've been there. And guess what? If your business is a crap show, you should be embarrassed. But let's change it, right? You're most likely, you got emails from every which way. You got invoices that need to be paid. You got closing statements lost in the internet, everywhere. I mean, a true six-figure closer, someone who's going to be closing 50 or 100K a month, you need administrative help, and you can do that. And so it's so easy these days to hire someone from the Philippines for a very, very reasonable price, or even hire somebody locally. I mean, you can absolutely do that. I guarantee you that if you are generating leads and you're closing, hiring someone to help with admin is like the best thing that you can do. And by the way, they will not judge you. As a matter of fact, this is job security for them. So the more disorganized you are, the better off, the better they're going to feel about their job. All right. So 4 is to tippy toe, or to tag onto the last one, is that you don't have enough work for someone to delegate to. And I got to tell you, every single time I think I should hire somebody and then I hire them, I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have done this a year ago. And so I guarantee you, if you start writing down all the things that you need help with, you're going to see a massive, massive gap in the needs of your business. All right. Number 5 is that you can't earn 100K a month wholesaling. And I'm here to tell you that you can. Okay. I've done this so many times. I've seen my clients do it so many times. It is very, very, when I say common, I see it all the time, right? Obviously, probably only the top, 1-2% of wholesalers make 100K, but there's a lot of wholesalers in the world. And so you can easily do this. And of course, I'm going to pat myself on the back, as most of them listen to this podcast and have listened to the No Limit Selling System. And so you can do it. But the first step is belief. That's one of the things that I tell all of my kids, is the first step in any venture and anything worth doing is that you got to believe that you can do it. And so how do you make 100K a month wholesaling? It's simple. All right. If you know that you can earn $5 for every dollar that you spend, you have to spend about $20,000 a month in marketing to make $100,000. Here's the great thing. If you've got a little tiny team, an admin assistant, maybe a lead manager, and you're the closer, you're making like $70,000 a month. This is awesome. Awesome. I mean, and that's net in your pocket. Okay. Let's say it's only 50. So what? That is a lot of money for a small 3-person team. And I know that you have the capability to do this. I've seen this multiple times from all different kinds of people. And I got to tell you, the people doing 100K a month consistently aren't all over Facebook. This one is my favorite one. And this is a real hump for people to get over. Once you do, it'll set you free. You don't have to do this, but hiring an acquisition specialist, right? Many people are scared to hire an acquisition specialist because they think that once they show this person the business and provide leads, that all of a sudden that this person is going now to compete with them, right? That they're going to create competition, or this person now is going to steal from them. Well, here's what I can tell you is that if you were going to have competition, that person would go out and compete with you anyway. Number two, as a business owner, you are willing to take risk, right? You're willing to spend money for leads, time, energy, certainty, education, your time, your swagger, the belief in yourself. And people want to borrow that. They want to be around you. And I got to tell you that hiring an acquisition specialist, especially if you don't have the time or you don't want to meet with sellers, you kind of drag your feet on doing this, is one of the best things that you can do in your business. You will sabotage your business 10 times faster than an acquisition specialist. Have I lost acquisition specialists who went and started their own business? Kind of. I mean, if I've probably hired over 36 acquisition specialists, and I've seen maybe 1 to 2 go out and be successful on their own, right, without working with us. Now, some of them would do deals on their own and without working with us, but I still have formed a relationship with them. And we still make money together. So it's not like I really created competition there. Okay. And so again, I've had maybe 1 or 2 go out and start their own business and be successful, but I've had many, many, many more leave my company and then go out and just do deals occasionally and then still send us deals, which is great because I get now free lead flow, right? And they make some money. So it's phenomenal, phenomenal deal. Hire an acquisition specialist. Don't worry about creating competition. You'll sabotage yourself by not having someone help you way, way, way more than creating competition. All right. Number 7 is the boogeyman is going to find out how much they made. And now the seller or your buyers are going to badmouth you. This is one that's kind of internal. They're like, oh my gosh, what if the seller finds out that I made $100,000 on this deal or $50,000 on this deal and I had little to no risk and I didn't do any work to the property? Well, the truth is you did do work, right? You learned how to market. You took that risk, you got leads, you screened the leads, you met with the seller, you solved the problem, you found a buyer, you took it to contract, you took it to escrow, you listened to the seller's objections, and you got the deal done, right? And that's where the value is. But you just got to let that go, right? You can't worry about what people are going to think about you. And by the way, a seller does not care how much money you made if you help solve their problem. I got to tell you that once a seller gets that check in their hand, they get that wire, they got a big smile on their face and they're getting the heck out of Dodge and they never want to look at this property again. And so very, very, very rarely are they worried about how much money you made on a deal after the fact. Number 8, cash buyers should make more than you. This is a good one. I got to tell you, all the money in this business is made from the finding of the deal, the negotiating of the deal, getting it under contract. And in my opinion, the wholesaler actually should make more money than the rehabber. Getting money for deals is easy. Running a rehab crew, once you have it dialed down, is actually easy, right? You're just running a project. You should be paid like a contractor. And so I'm not going to tell a rehabber how much they should make, nor should a rehabber tell you how much you should make. And so you should not feel guilty about making more on a deal than a rehabber. Know that you are entitled and you are deserve to make $50,000 or $100,000 on a deal. Last one, but not least, is that somebody else's market is better than yours. I did record another episode on if you're on how to evaluate your own market, but I got to tell you, chances are your market is just fine. Focus on where you live first. The grass is almost never greener on the other side. And so know that there are deals right in your backyard today for you to buy, help a seller out and to sell to a cash buyer and make 25, okay, on this extreme low end, 50,000 and even $100,000 or more on a deal. So, in summary, wholesaling is not a gateway drug. You can earn way more than $10,000 on a deal. You should delegate it, and somebody can do it better, and they should do it better. You have a ton of work right now that a virtual assistant could take over for you. You can make $100,000 a month wholesaling. A salesperson is not in danger, or is way less of a danger to compete with you than you are. You are more likely to sabotage yourself than a salesperson or an acquisition specialist sabotaging you. The boogeyman is not going to find out how much money you made and come after you. Cash buyers are not entitled to make more money than you, and no, somebody else's market is not better than yours. If you have not been over to nextlevelwholesaling.com and you haven't taken the Next Level Wholesaling Assessment, what are you waiting for? Go there, take it. It takes 5 minutes. You're going to love it. If you have a question that you'd like to answer, you want me to answer on the podcast, hit me up on Instagram at Todd Toback, and I will talk to you on the next episode.